Earlier, I was telling y'all about the bricks in Mario with the question marks. This go back to all the videos I was doing about don't segment your reality and the questions will start the quest and all of this quest symbolism. This go back to all of that, brothers and sisters, and you really need to watch those videos, okay? So the whole thing about the question mark, we know that 2 question marks equals the light bulb and 2 question marks also equals the Ankh. I'm not going to get into all of that. If you want to know about it, like I said again, check out the videos. Now, back to Mario, it's the same thing, people, I was telling y'all in the videos. Mario breaking them bricks with the question marks on it with his head. He got to bang his head, people, against a brick to get his power ups. Every time he bang his head against that brick, he get a coin or he get a flower, or he get a mushroom or a life or a power up. But he won't get nothing, people, if he don't bang his head against that brick and ask that question. So that goes back to quest being the root word of question. You got to ask the question. You got to do that tedious, that diligent research. You got to become an investigator. So you got to bang your head on them bricks to get the treasure. Okay, so when he break them bricks with his head, he get items that help him get closer to defeating Koopa or defeating these reptilians that rule over us, this Illuminati reptilian group. So in Mario, this is represented by the Koopa gang. All right, and understand that when Mario bang his head on them bricks, that's like you asking the questions that we ask today. It's tedious research. It hurt you banging your head on a brick, but every time you do it, you receive items that can help you defeat these reptilians and help you save the princes. And when you save the princes, that just means regaining the ancient cosmology, regaining the matriarch, the Mother Earth knowledge. So that's very deep, you know, Mario banging his head on a question mark bricks and receiving the treasures, and these treasures assisting in his quest. All right, so you got to bang your head, people, and you got to do diligent research. So let's move on to the next one. All of the bricks you see in the game is related to Freemasonry. Of course, you can see that in a lot of the scenarios on the Mario game, you have your checkerboard and a number of areas, okay? So that Freemasonry stamp is all in your face, so we don't even have to get into the fact that we know all of this stuff come from Freemasons. So, but what I want to get deep into is the whole question mark stuff that I was just telling y'all about. See, these boxes is everything that they telling you about this hex, okay? The hexagon is really a cube. Now, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but what I decided to do just for y'all diligent truth seekers is to make a whole nother video just on cross and cube symbolism. Now, I'll be uploading that, so stay tuned. And to give you a little bit what you'll be getting in that and how it relates to Mario, everything I'm telling you about the boxes is everything you hear about the Saturn hex. Now, Saturn is not a planet that you know of as you've been taught about by NASA, okay? And I went into that in previous videos. You're on Saturn now. What I'm trying to tell you here is that the hex on Saturn is all NASA deception. All of those pictures you got is deception. One thing you got to keep in mind about the whole hex on Saturn is that Saturn is Satan. That's Baphomet energy. That's all that is, okay? And the whole thing about the box is just what I'm telling you with Mario. They got you stuck in a box if you don't ask questions. That's why they say think outside the box. So the video that I'm going to be uploading going to be probably named Think Outside the Box or Think Outside of Saturn's Hex. So stay tuned to that. It's going to be a full presentation with a lot of flashing graphics and everything, okay? This is going to be a great one going into crossing cube symbolism. And what is crossing cube symbolism in a nutshell before we move on? If you take a box and unfold it, you get a cross. That's symbolic because the moment you start thinking outside of the box, you become a madman or a crazy man in society. Sort of like what they doing with the rapper B.O.B. because he said the earth is flat. Now they crucifying him and slandering him publicly. So a lot of people that come out with this ancient science saying that the earth is flat are considered idiots, and they also get trolled and they also get crucified in so many ways. So understand that when you unfold the box and you start start thinking outside the box, you create a cross. When you unfold the box, you make a cross. That cross is representative of the crucifixion that will take place when you change your viewpoint from the norm and step outside of the matrix that everybody in and start thinking for yourself. You will get crucified, but the benefit of that crucifixion is going to be good for your spiritual growth. And also you will get your Christ energy from that crucifixion. You'll be born again. Okay. After that whole process, you'll become a new creature and you'll begin to progress upwards as you reconnect with the source. That's going to be a whole nother video. I get into that. Now we're going to move on. We know that the mushroom is a fungus and that the root word of fungus is fun. Now we see this fun root everywhere. For example, you see the fun root in the word funeral. Now we all know that fun is associated with, having fun, doing something that make you happy or whatever. So why do we find this fun root in stuff like fungus or funeral? Now I'm finna get deep because this go into the magic mushrooms and the psychedelic trips that we talking about. A lot of people that do that stuff, y'all, they said that it make them more spiritually aware and that it's fun. All right. Now I'm going to get into the psychedelic trip and the magic mushrooms later in this video. I don't want to get into it now. Let's stay on Mario for a minute. And what I'm really pointing out to you is that fun and the mushroom being a fungus, and fun is a very positive root word. Everybody likes fun. But one thing I want to point out with all of that being said is that nobody likes funerals, but the root word of funeral is fun. And this goes back to a lot of y'all don't realize that we've been so bamboozled and we've de-evolved so much that we fear death because we've been lied to in religion about hell and demons, and we've been given spookism. We've been given fear people instead of science and truth. You fear death and you fear all of this stuff because you fear what's up there in the sky, and you fear all of this stuff because you've been given a false cosmology with stuff clashing around in a spooky universe. But understand that the root word of funeral is fun, and we shouldn't fear death today, because this goes back to what I've been telling a lot of people, that when you start researching our ancient ancestors, when they had deaths, they didn't sit around and cry and mope around and do all of the stuff we do today. Our ancestors had rituals and ceremonies during death. So the root word of funeral being fun, our ancestors knew that death was graduation. They knew that death was a transitioning phase. They knew that the person never went anywhere. Our ancestors were so advanced in these spiritual sciences that they can look at a baby and tell you how many times that baby have been to this earth. Understand that they were very advanced, and during the dark ages, a lot of this knowledge was completely desecrated and just ruined, destroyed by invaders, and reinterpreted and used, as I said, for evil to control you now. The root word of funeral being fun is very deep, something you need to think about, because our ancestors did have fun during their ancient funerals or their ancient death ceremonies and rituals.